아니야, 너 오면 안 되지.
Explorer, okay? And I'm only going to be with you folks for about 8 minutes, so try not to get too attached to me, okay? I'm going to be taking you up the road that you can see off to your left-hand side, up and beside that large moraine that you can see, and we will talk about that a little bit later. Alright, now before we get going, is there any questions you'd like to ask? Nothing you're curious about? Alright, well, I would like to just mention that if you need to dispose of anything today, I do have a garbage can at the front of the bus, and there will be one also on your Ice Explorer, okay? So please don't leave that outside or on the glacier, okay? Any other questions? Nothing? You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Ini bis ini cewek yang baik, bis ini di atas lebih gede lagi rodanya itu yang itu cewek juga dari sono udah nggak kepake ya, esnya udah nggak ada. Yang kemarin
Alright guys, so if you look just over to your right hand side, you'll see a little yellow machine there. That's actually my car. I was a little late for work this morning. No, you guys are gonna laugh at that? Okay. Now that's actually a 1940 Bombardier. That's what you used for our tour starting in 1940. Some of those machines carried 6 people and some carried 8. Now here we are, we're going into the most dangerous part of the tour, the highway. Another joke. Alright, so over to your right hand side there, we'll see 3 Canadian flags, and just past that we'll see 3 naked flagpoles. Now those 3 naked flagpoles are sitting on what's called a terminal moraine, which are those lumps of dirt and debris just there. Now these lumps of dirt and debris actually mark where the glacier was at its furthest point, which is back in 1843. Now in 1843, which is 164 years ago, this glacier stretched all across this area of land and down into our parking lot. Now you can notice all of these big lumps of dirt and debris surrounding us today. These are formed by the glacier every year. Now in the wintertime, the glacier grows and it pushes this rock and debris forwards. Then, when it retreats back in the spring and summer months, it leaves these piles of dirt and debris back, called annual or push moraines. And that's how we can date where the glacier was at which point in time. Now, if you guys just hold on a moment, I'll call up to your Ice Explorer. 245, heading for 533. Alright guys, I have an extremely bad memory, so if you could remember base 7 for me, that would be excellent. Now if you look over to your left hand side here, you'll notice the subalpine forest. Now it is made up of mostly subalpine spruce and Engelmann fir trees. These trees, believe it or not guys, are about 300 years old. Now the reason they are so old is because of the short growing season of only 60 days to 90 days per year, as well of the poor soil condition. Now another thing up here that actually stunts these trees' growth is what's called a katabatic wind. Now the katabatic wind comes off of the glacier and it's very, very cold. So what happens basically is the heat down the valley where the ice field center is, the heat rises and it sucks that cold air down to displace it and creates this wind. Now the wind blows against these trees and freezes the sap in the side closest to the glacier and actually prevents the branches from growing. This is actually an effect that we call flagging, and you can easily see why the trees look like flags blowing on flagpoles.
เดี๋ยวพอเราเรียกประมาณนั้น
Now, across to our right hand side, all the way over the valley there, you can see a triangular shaped forest. Now, this is called the ancient forest, and on average, the trees in there are around 700 years old. They are some of the oldest trees in all of Alberta, and definitely the oldest in Jasper National Park. Now, if you look over to your left hand side and way up there at about 10, 11 o'clock, this is Mount Athabasca. Mount Athabasca is one of Canada's most famous climbing mountains. Now, on average, we get about 15 to 20 people per day reaching the summit of Mount Athabasca in the summer months, okay? They have to start in the early hours of the morning, around 2 or 3 a.m. They climb for 6 to 8 hours, and that gets them to the top, and about 2 to 4 hours to get back down. Depending on their skill level, some climbers can get back down to the bottom in about 40 seconds.
By skiing.
By falling.
By falling.
If you look over to your right hand side here, this is the lateral moraine. It's that big moraine I was telling you about. Lateral basically means side, moraine means big pile of rock. So basically, it's a big pile of side rock on the side of the glacier. I ask that you guys please do not attempt to climb on the lateral moraine. It is very unstable, okay, and there is about a 300-foot vertical drop down the other side. I wouldn't want that to happen to you. Your Ice Explorer driver will tell you more about that when we get up to your Explorer. Now, as we climbed up that hill, we got a little bit of a scenery change. What's missing, guys? The trees, exactly. Now, we just crossed the tree line and entered into the alpine zone. Alright, now basically we're at 7,000 feet above sea level right now. At this high elevation, the vegetation is very difficult to grow because of the harsh climates. As well, there's not a whole lot of animal life up here because there's not a lot of vegetation. But once in a while, we do see some bighorn sheep simply licking the salt off the side of the road. Now, speaking of road, we are currently on solid ground, but that is quickly about to change. We just transferred onto a constantly moving surface, and we will be on moving ground for the next 1 hour of your tour. Now, this road is a part of that lateral moraine that I was telling you about. The lateral moraine sits on top of the glacier, so when the glacier melts, the lateral moraine moves, and so does this road, okay? Moves about 3 feet or 1.5 meters per year. Don't worry, guys, this road still will be here when you guys get back. So it is the point of our tours to give you a better understanding, appreciation, and respect for not only Canada's national park, but all wild places. So I hope you derive that from our tours today. Our Ice Explorer driver today is going to be Luke. He's one of our best, all right? Don't give him a hard time. Make sure you laugh at all of his jokes because he gets upset if you don't. Alright, now watch your step on the way out. I don't want you slipping and falling. And do remember to take all your personal belongings with you. Alright, someone left their mother-in-law in the back the other day, and I didn't know what to do. Alright guys, once again, thanks for coming.
他红就从来广告啊，我係啊係啊。
唔該啊！乜嘢啊？
How's everyone doing today? Good, good. Welcome to the Columbia Ice Fields. My name is Lucas. I'm going to be your Ice Explorer driver for the next hour and a bit. But what we'll be doing, as soon as I get this door closed, what we'll be doing is driving 2 kilometers out onto the Athabasca Glacier. We will be driving out to what we call the turnaround point. When we get to this spot, you folks are more than welcome to get out, walk around a little bit, take some pictures, throw some snowballs, do whatever you like, really. If you do have any garbage, just make sure you throw it in this garbage bin up here at the front, because we're trying not to track any dirt and debris onto the glacier. We're trying to preserve this for years to come. I am going to be pointing a few things out along the way. All these windows on the side do open up. You can push them back a little bit for taking better pictures, or if you do get a little warm. If you do get a little cold, don't hesitate to shout that out, and I'll flip on some heat for us. But other than that, I'm sure you've heard enough of me talking and you just want to get on that glacier, so let's get going.